Hey amazing artist, I turned off the volume because I'm having some troubles getting it to have good sound quality. I'm showing you the portrait and the landscape version of the Baobab tree that we're going to make today. Take a moment to figure out which one you like more. Do you like the portrait? Do you like the landscape? Grab your clean sheet of paper, make a dot in the middle. We're going to take that dot, make a triangle. I'm adding small triangles on top of the large one to be the thick branches. The portrait is the same. You're going to put a dot in the middle, closer to the top though. Create your triangle and add your branches. It can be random. Draw a zigzag line coming from those and you'll have the tree limbs. Now that your limbs are in place, add some more details. You're going to use your crayon to color side to side. Your crayon can be broken, doesn't need to be sharp. Again, we're just coloring. You'll notice I use my whole hand to color. I don't just use my fingers because that hurts your fingers. Don't stop until all your space is filled. Be sure not to draw, my friends, if you're making your lines separate. That's called drawing. We use drawing to outline an object. That's to define the edges of an object in space. That's not what you're doing. You're filling in space. So color side to side until you've filled in all your space. You can thicken those zigzags so that they look like real branches. The idea is that they're a little fatter at the base, a little thinner at the tip, just like your arm, just like your fingers, just like all of nature. For my landscape, I'm going to do the same thing. I even added a little funny branch. It's a little one. And I'm filling in the space. Again, make sure that you color side to side. Keep your lines close together. As you see with the scribbly lines, it does not fill in space. Keep your lines close, side to side. If it's hard to get to the bottom of your paper, turn your paper. That's something that artists do. They turn the papers all the time. You don't have to get stuck side to side coloring in a hard color spot. Just move your whole paper. I'm thickening each branch so it looks more realistic, more like how a real tree grows. Thick at the base, thin at the tip, just like your fingers, just like your arms. Looks like it's time to paint. The final step is to add color. You want to put your brush in the water, gently remove the excess water. You never want to have a ton of water on your brush. There should be some left back in the cup. Notice that my brush is nice and wet, but it's not so wet that it's dripping. You don't want your brush to be dripping. And choose your color. This time I chose a warm color scheme. Do you remember what a warm color scheme comprises of? Is it red, orange, and yellow? Yeah, you're right. It's red, orange, and yellow. I'm doing a little wet on wet by putting a little bit of water on my paper first. It helps the color spread, but if there's a lot of water, it stands on top of the paper. That's okay, spread it around. Once you've hit a certain level of water, you don't need to add too much more to spread around the color. You can see some value differences. I'm starting off with a monochromatic color scheme. What does monochromatic mean? Yeah, it means just one color. So with a monochromatic color scheme, we'll just start with some red. I want to make a warm sky. I'm using red. I think I'll have some fun and add some other colors. What else is a warm color, friends? Orange? Yes. Orange is a warm color. Yellow? Yeah. Yellow is a warm color too. With my warms blending, I'm starting to look more realistic, more complete. Remember to keep that brush moving. You don't want to use your brush in one spot over and over, or it is going to put a hole in your paper. It can also make your paper so wet that it starts to ball up. That's your paper falling apart. So you want to keep your hands moving. You're just filling in space. Let's take a closer look. It's not so bad. I can see some wax came loose, but that's okay. This wax resist technique means that whatever I colored with crayon is going to stand out. Let's flip to the back, take a look at our portrait. I think I'll try a cool color scheme this time. What colors make up a cool color scheme? blue. You'll notice that it's getting pretty wet. When I'm at home, I use tape to hold down my art. That way it doesn't warp. At school, it's just fine if your table gets a little wet. We'll wipe it down. We'll wipe it down when we're done. Is green a cool color too? Yes, it is. What else is a cool color? Yeah, purple. Am I painting in one spot over and over? No way. That would destroy my paper. Once I've added a color once or twice, you have to move on. I have to move on, or you won't be happy with what happens when there's a hole in your page. Looks like I'm really close to finishing up, guys. Aha! Here we go, that's our cool side. And on the other side, you can see why you shouldn't use the flip side when you're painting, but that's okay for this example. I'm going to grab one of my favorite art tools, the good old paper towel. Yeah. Artists use paper towels and watercolor to not only pick up water, pick up paint, and you can create textures like clouds. If you want to do that, try it out. Amazing artists. I think we did good work for one day. Thank you for learning about the Baobab tree and creating these silhouettes with our wax resist techniques. You can put them inside of a book, and that's going to make it nice and flat for next time. I'll see you later, amazing artists.